Hey, how you doing? What's up? What's going on, everybody? I am Joy Bailey. I am the mortgage boss. I am a licensed mortgage loan officer here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm licensed in 13 states, which the information for the states that I'm licensed in will be below in the description box. Woo, I'm trying to get it together over here. Hold on a second. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. I'm comfortable. Y'all, I'm so short. I'm so tired. I'm so short. But oh gosh, this camera still ain't doing right. Why not? What? Okay, here we go. Woo, y'all. What a day. It's been busy. These rates started dropping and I've been busy and I'm so excited about it. But anyway, that ain't why you came. So again, like I said, I'm licensed in multiple states. The information will be in the description box. And that's it for now anyway. Come on in. As y'all come in, please make sure you hit the like button for me, please. Please, pretty please. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button for me. Y'all, these rates are going down and we're starting to be a little bit concerned about some of the stuff that we're seeing. So what you clicked on, what we're going to talk about today is occupancy fraud. But not only just talk about a little bit of occupancy fraud and what it is and why people do it, but we're going to talk about specifically when does I didn't know turn into actual blatant fraud is what we want to know. When does it turn into a fraud? I got an email a couple of weeks ago at work, and they basically said, hey, look, y'all need to cut the shit. All of this that we're starting to see now, it's not working. It's no good. It's costing us money. There's multiple different types of fraud that we see on a day-to-day basis. Where people try to, scheme and scam. Everybody say a little white lie here and there, right? But unfortunately, some frauds just are more costly than others. And when you are somebody that's considered to be somewhat high profile, you're going to get caught every single time. One of the things that I was saying yesterday on TikTok is that fraud or mortgage fraud is one of those special types of frauds where you can't do mortgage fraud by yourself. You have to have a team of people that are willing to be somewhat complicit with you, right? The reason why I'm on this channel, the reason why I do some social media on TikTok and on Instagram is because a lot of people say, oh, well, people don't have financial literacy. They don't teach financial literacy in school. And, yes, that's true, right? But everybody knows from the time that they're 2 years old, 3 years old, it's not okay to be dishonest. Whether you are someone that has biblical principles that you live by, or whether it's just, treat your neighbor like you want to be treated, be nice to other people, they'll be nice to you. You know that being dishonest is supposed to be wrong in all situations, right? Unless you like into the philosophy and you're like, okay, well, when is it okay? Is it okay if it's going to hurt somebody? That sort of thing. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, Marilyn Mosby. Hang on one second. All right. So not judge. Ooh, child, promoted that lady. I didn't mean promote her. Marilyn Mosby. Let me pull up a picture of her right quick. Is accused of committing mortgage fraud. And if you don't know who she is, let me give you just a little bit of background information on this lady. Let me pull a picture up right here. Where is this lady at? All right. So this is not judge. Why do I keep calling her judge? This is Marilyn Mosby. She actually rose to fame back in 2015. If you remember when there were several police killings that was going on during that time and into the early, 2020s, Freddie Gray was in Baltimore, and he was arrested by the police and thrown in the back of a paddy wagon, and he broke his neck. And she led the charge against the police officers, saying, "This ain't right. Y'all got to go to jail. You shouldn't do this." And so she got national fame from that, because before we didn't know who she was. She was just a prosecutor from Baltimore. And unfortunately, she didn't win. So I don't know the facts of the case. I'm not here to litigate that, but she did not win. And so I think that the people in the area probably had a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from her, because out of her own mouth, she said that she feels like the reason why she's under siege right now is because of some of her beliefs and her being so aggressive with prosecuting people that were breaking the law. But it's interesting to me, and again, I'm not a legal scholar. Let me be real clear. The only thing I do is home loans, okay? But what's interesting to me is I don't think we see prosecutors get prosecuted very often. And so that's why I was like, not my girl. Not my girl. What? No, not her. Because I thought she was a cute girl, and I kind of took a liking to her. She was about her business, and looks like it's not going favorably for her at this time, because it looks like her life is in shambles. She actually had more than one trial. So Marilyn Mosby, at the time when this incident happened in early 2020, she was the top prosecutor in Baltimore, earning about $250,000. Marilyn Mosby graduated college from Tuskegee, and she got her law degree from Boston College. During this time, I believe back in the early 2000s, she got married to Nick Mosby. They met in college. Nick Mosby is actually was a city councilman during that time, and he was earning $170,000. These people got a little bit of coin, right? You would think. But Marilyn Mosby has gone not only to college. I went to A&T. I got 2 degrees. She got 2 degrees. I went to A&T. I majored in journalism. I can read. I can construct sentences. I can tell stories. I can find comma splices, right? But she has gone on to study the law. And so really what she's accused of, there is really no excuse for it. So I want to get into that, unpack what exactly it is she did. Well, what I'm sorry, alleged, because she had 2 trials. So she was convicted on one end, and the other thing is alleged. So we're going to unpack what happened and talk about what it means for you and how you can try to avoid that. So I want to turn this into, a dialogue. So guys, please, talk back to me, but I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible. Hey, Mr. CKB, how you doing? Thank you for popping by. Now, I don't do the law. That's not my thing, but I know what mortgage fraud look like. I don't know everything, but I definitely know that. So I'm not going to get into the legalese. I'm going to leave that to you and your side of YouTube, okay? I don't want to butcher the law. Hey, Shaughnessy, how you doing? And the sexy walker? How you doing? Say it ain't so. Are y'all from the DMV area? Because I'm about to rip your girl apart. If you are, I'm just going to say sorry. I'm in advance, because it ain't looking good for your girl. Okay. So Marilyn Mosby. All right. So like I said, she's not only just she's not a regular person by no stretch of the imagination. Usually when you think of people committing crimes and fraud, it's because they have a plan. It's some master plan. And a lot of times when people commit fraud, they're getting millions of dollars. Y'all, bless her little heart. She completed a loan application. So let's start with what happens when you complete a loan application. She completed a loan application. On a loan application, we ask you your name. We ask you for your residential history for the last 2 years. We ask you for your employment history for the last 2 years. Depending on the type of loan you're applying for, we may or may not have you to include 100% of the income in the household, including overtime, bonuses, your 19-year-old son's part-time job. It just depends. But based on whatever the guidelines say, you need to be able to provide that information and provide that information accurately. And I've said before, the one job that loan officers struggle with is doing what we call a complete and accurate 1003. Sometimes we just slap something in there and be like, okay, it's okay. We'll get it later. We'll get it later. It's all good. We're going to round the numbers. It's okay. It's all good. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, that would be fine for most people. Once you complete the loan application, there are some signatures that you have to have, where you have legal disclosures that are sent out to you. And those legal disclosures basically say, we've told you certain information. And when you're signing it, you're not signing say you agree or disagree. You signing just telling, we told you, we've provided you the information. Now, whether or not you choose to read through it is your business. And again, a regular schmegler person probably not going to read it. Probably don't know what they're reading. I've had people that have contacted me, and in contacting me, they're like, hey, we need to go over this together. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney. I could tell you what I think this means, but I'm not an attorney. I've had some people that try to negotiate the terms of the disclosures to me, but the disclosures are uniform for everybody. So the same disclosures that you will get whenever you buy a house, same loan application that you will get whenever you buy a house is the same for Marilyn Mosby, the same for Donald Trump, the same for Beyonce. Everybody gets uniform everything, uniform documents. And they made it that way intentionally for a reason. Well, in my job, sometimes when I'm taking a loan application, people will not intentionally omit things. I have had people, I remember when I worked at the bank, like 2015, 2016, and people would literally forget. They would have multiple homes and be like, oh, I forgot I had that land. Oh, what you mean you forgot? You forgot. Okay, well, can you go get the tax documents for it? Go get the tax bill. Let me make sure, And so sometimes those little things happen because human beings are not perfect. You're not 100% on everything. We may have clerical errors. I've had loans that had to stop mid-process or delay closing because somebody didn't disclose the appropriate last name. Some cultures some ethnicities, some cultures have more than one last name. Well, if you in your street life go by this last name, but in your legal life, this is your last name, we have a problem. But does that make you a liar? Does that mean that you've lied on your loan application? I'm going to roll with no. It's just an innocent, like, I know, my bad, There are times in our industry where people will say on the loan application, well, I have $38,000, and then I get the bank statements and I'm like, you missing $37,604. Where is the rest of this $38,000? Oh, I need it in my account today. Yes, you do. Okay. Little things like that. It happens because, again, these are regular laymen, maybe never purchased a home before. This is the largest purchase of your life. You might get a little nervous. Your hand might be a little shaky when you typing it up on the computer. I don't know. But sometimes people just flat out lie. Sometimes people will say that they're getting money from one source, and I say to them, oh, well, you can't use that money. And then they'll try and clean it up mid-conversation and say, okay, well, what if it was a gift? But you just told me it wasn't a gift. Now, when I work in a call center setting, all of our calls were monitored and recorded for quality assurance. Okay. So if I said something that was inaccurate or something that may have been perceived to mislead the consumer, then I get in trouble. Right? But it works both ways, because when you're on this monitor and recorded line and you start saying stuff, okay, well, we got you on the monitor and recorded line. Well, I'm not in a call center setting anymore. I talk on this phone right here. None of my conversations are recorded. They're not. When I get a feeling about people, I just put it in an email and make sure that it's documented that I said what I said. But people commit fraud for all types of reasons. People commit fraud because they want to flip a house. We have something called property flipping. We have fraud called property flopping. We have fraud with when you get straw buyers, which is something that is relatively common. Of course, people have identity theft. So it's a lot of different fraud types that are out there. And as a layman, you've never heard these words in your life, have you? Probably not. You've heard of, I'm sure you know about identity theft, right? Everybody knows about identity theft. But Miss Girlfriend right here, Miss, I went to Tuskegee. Miss, I went to Boston College and got a Juris Doctorate. Not only did I get a Juris Doctorate, I'm the top prosecutor in Baltimore. I decide who gets prosecuted. Let me hold on a minute. Let me dust my shoulders off right quick. I'm that bitch. I'm the HBIC. That's your girl, right? Ain't she cute? Look at her. She's cute as she can be, right? Well, that's all fine and good and great until it ain't no more. So her thing is, well, my thing is when I'm hearing and I'm looking and I'm gathering information, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, you may not have purchased a home before. And so some of these nuances are probably new. When you're an attorney, you don't got to know all the laws. I'm a loan officer. I don't know all the guidelines. I don't know all the programs. But if you're prosecuting people, probably prosecuting people for fraud, I'm positive that these things have come up before, right? I'm positive that they have. So there's really like no way for you to not know certain stuff. Hang on. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, y'all in Dallas. Okay. All right. Well, good luck on your test on Tuesday. But yeah, like there's really no way for you not to know certain things, at least in my humble opinion. Well, during COVID, some things happened. And we know that the world was turned upside down, and there were a lot of emergency measures enacted by Congress to make sure that the economy did not tank and we ended up in some sort of irreversible depression. We had a moratorium on student loan payments. We had a moratorium on foreclosures. We allowed people to not make mortgage payments for a year, actually longer than a year. There were loans that were available, pretty much no questions asked, for people that were self-employed to help keep their businesses afloat, because the economy runs off of businesses, which is why a lot of times people don't claim all their taxes whenever they're self-employed. When they apply for a mortgage, they end up being punched in the face because they're like, wait, I didn't break the law. No, but we just do our math a little bit different. What you doing when you're writing off all your taxes, it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You have all the deductions your heart desires, because the economy runs off of businesses and they want people to have businesses. That's just the foundation of America and the way that it works, right? So I just feel like this woman decided, okay, cool. Like everybody's sitting down. I think I'm gonna buy a house. Houses was going crazy in 2020 and 2021, going crazy, flying off the shelves. It was almost hard for people not to qualify. And so there were some people that were like, I got to take advantage of this. If I don't take advantage of this, I might never get a house again. Some interest rates were 2.5%. 3% on 30-year fixed mortgages. This is unprecedented, unheard of. And we've gone from that upwards of 8% in November, December, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, you can see how somebody would have some urgency behind that, right? So loan applications were just going crazy. We were inundated by people wanting to refinance, buy houses. We uncovered one scam. I don't want to call it a scam, but it is a scam. It's called credit washing. But we don't discover these things in real time. It takes time to gather enough data and have the manpower to be able to disseminate and say, okay, what's going on? What's happened? Oh, we see this pattern here. Wow, this is interesting. This credit profile, this ends up being the outcome. So maybe we should do something about that. Okay. So back in 2022, I read an article about credit washing, and it was a pattern that they had noticed over the last couple of years. Of course, like I said, we were really busy. 2020 and 2021, things started slowing down in 2022. And so as they started looking, they were like, this is odd. How you got one trade line for 8 months and you got a 700 credit score? This is weird, right? We were stretched very, very thin during that time frame. And so some of the mistakes that could have been caught or maybe should have been caught, maybe were not caught. So some people, they got away with certain things, if I'm just being totally honest with you. But those papers and that paperwork, it does not vanish into thin air after your loan application is complete and after you get your keys. That's not what happens at all. Again, I told you, a lot of these places, you are on recorded lines. You call, they're recorded. They keep those recordings. They audit those recordings. The same way that we audit, or not we, like me, we, my company, but we have audits of loan applications. They do all the time. And it's just to keep some checks and balances. It's to make sure that we're doing the things that we're supposed to do and we're being compliant. And it's really more so for us than for y'all. But it does expose certain patterns of behavior. And then they have to create rules around the negative patterns of behavior that create additional risk that they may not have thought of before. That's how banks work. Banks are there to make money. But people don't realize that. People think that it's us versus them. Oh, I can't get that back. They gonna make all this money on my interest rate. And that ain't even how it works. They upset. They don't want to give me no loan, and they try and find other ways around it. And when you are seeking out ways around rules, that to me is where the fraud comes into play. All right. So Marilyn Mosby, a prosecutor that has a Juris Doctorate, which obviously you have to have, went to law school, passed the bar exam. I'm gonna buy a house. Okay, cool. Me and my man, we gonna buy a house. We live in Baltimore. We not only gonna buy one house, bitch, we gonna buy 2. Again, not totally crazy because like I just told you, the interest rates were super, super low at the time. Okay, I can see that. That jives. But you live in Baltimore. Why are you buying not one, but 2 houses in Florida? You 40 years old. I know where you work. I can Google it. I know how much money you make. I can Google that. I could probably Google your house. You live a pretty public life. So girl, what you doing? Okay, cool. So remember earlier when I said that when you complete the loan application, we ask you certain things and then we give you certain documents, and those documents are disclosures, and disclosures meaning we telling you certain stuff. We can't make you read those documents. I've had some of those disclosures be sent out and they come back in 5 minutes. I'm like, you did not read 79 pages in 5 minutes. Do I expect people to read the disclosures? No, I really don't. I've signed stuff without reading it. Like we've all done it. I'm not saying anything about that. But when you're an attorney, I just would think that an attorney would read the things that they sign. Because when you're going through the loan application, either you're taking the application over the phone and I'm saying to you, hey, what's your name? What's your first name? Bob. Last name, Jones. What's your date of birth? 11083. Okay, what's your social? 111-222-133, whatever, right? Okay. Oh, Bob Jones, are you a junior, senior, third, fourth, anything like that? No. Is Bob your legal name? Oh, no, it's Robert. Oh, okay. Let me Robert. Okay. I'm going through the whole thing and they're telling me and I'm typing it in. So in that communication, there's some back and forth. We're going to kiki a little bit, but it's a good opportunity for me to develop some rapport with this person. It also gives me an opportunity to go ahead and ask questions where there may be some fuzziness. So I lived at 123 Main Street from August of 2021 to September of 2022. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I moved out in August. I don't know. Guess what we're going to do? We're just going to put something in there because we can always go back. It's okay because people can be a little bit forgetful. Well, Marilyn Mosby filled out this loan application. And one of the questions that we ask on the loan application is there's a series of questions at the end of the loan application. And those questions allow us to figure out what we need to be able to navigate forward. Is this going to be your primary residence? Have you owned a home in the last 3 years? How did you own that home? How were you titled? Was it with a spouse, somebody else? We ask you, like I said, about 10 different questions. And one of those questions is, are you presently delinquent or in default on any federal debt? Y'all, federal debt could be student loan debt. Federal debt could be tax debt. I don't really know any other type of debt, but I'm sure it exists somewhere, right? Delinquent, default. When you're a default of your student loans, sometimes people forget. And when we run CABRs on the FHA loan, we figure it out. They forgot. Is that mortgage fraud? If they forgot that they had student loans in the 90s and they didn't pay them for 9 months or 10 months or however long and they went into default? No, they probably forgot. I think that's a fair thing to say. When you are a prosecutor that is known nationally because you decided to take something to trial and tell everybody about it, and you wanted the whole NAACP, we in the street, they marching, the Saints was marching in, everything was going on. You was on the news every day in front of the cameras, baby. You couldn't hide a camera from this woman. I like to think you know the law a little bit, right? And I'm pretty sure when you take the bar exam, you gotta retain a lot of information, right? So your memory probably ain't that forgetful. Because one of the things about an attorney or a good attorney, they gonna remember the most microscopic details and hit you with it. They gonna remember that you said something 2 months ago. Hold on, wait, I thought you said. And then they be telling the little typewriter lady, what's the typewriter? The stenographer. Hey, can you read that back from November 23rd? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all, why this lady claimed that she forgot that she had a $45,000 tax lien from the IRS? Now, I know a little bit I know about the geography of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. They're not that far apart. So I know she knows where they at. And they definitely know where she is. So she was on trial. She had one trial for perjury charges. There was 2 perjury charges. Yeah, the typewriter lady. It was 2 perjury charges. Because remember I said that she bought how many houses? Not one, but two. Two homes. Now, Marilyn was married to her, I guess, college sweetheart. And her college sweetheart was not somebody who was a layman to the law either. He was a city councilman. And as a city councilman, like, you don't got to go to law school. I recognize that. I understand that. But here in Charlotte, I'm on a fair housing subcommittee. And for me to have my little itty bitty baby insignificant appointment, I had to put my hand on a Bible and be sworn in. They tend to want people to be honest people. Well, she was like, well, that I ain't know. I didn't know. She answered no to being delinquent or in default on any federal debt. And again, she's an attorney, so I know she know what federal means. It's not like you don't know the meanings of certain words. Like, this is odd. So she answered no twice. Boom, 2 counts of perjury. She's swearing to certain things under the penalty of perjury. There are documents that you sign saying that this is true to the best of my knowledge under the penalty of perjury. All would right, go through the whole thing. And then there's a special document that we got in those same disclosures that is a big ass document. And it's the FBI. And it says you commit fraud, you could go to jail. I think it's like 30 up to 30 years and be fined, I think up to $1 million. I don't know. I can't remember. But something like that. So again, she's an attorney, so I know she knows this. She ain't crazy. I'm positive she got attorney friend. She has to. So Miss Marilyn Mosby said that she didn't know that she had this tax debt with her husband because her man from college, that was him. Like, he filed the taxes, he did the things. But funny thing is, the IRS was like, nah, bitch, we sent you dozens and dozens of letters. Not only did we send the letters via the USPS, which is a very questionable system here in America, I just want to say. Anybody at the USPS, I just want y'all to know, I'm sorry that y'all work there, but y'all got to step it up. But not only they send snail mail, they said they sent certified letters as well saying, hey, what's up? What's going on? Y'all owe this money. What's happening? And they owed the money from over the course of, I think, 4 or 5 years. 7 years, excuse me. For so quite some time. So they ain't have it, clearly, because if they had it, they would have paid it. But remember, I said they made between the two of them almost $400,000. $400,000 between the two of them. She was around $250,000. He was around $170,000. I ain't know city council people got paid like that though. So maybe he had a different job. I don't know. I don't know if the city paid him that much money. I'm not totally clear, but I don't think we pay our city council people that much. Like in Charlotte, the mayor I think it's a part-time job here in Charlotte. So, Baltimore is a little bit more of a bigger political town. So they might pay their people a lot better. But either way, they were handsomely paid. And it's not only that they were handsomely paid for the job that they were doing, you have to put into perspective the time. This is before COVID that they were making this kind of money. So things weren't as expensive as they are now. Well, y'all, she also, in her loan application, said, because we ask you, what is your purpose of the property? What is your intention for the property? When you filling out this loan application, is this going to be a primary residence, a secondary residence, or is it going to be an investment property? And we ask that question for multiple reasons. One, because it tells us what type of down payment you have to put down. 2, it tells us which loan product you can or can't have. Like, for example, an FHA loan, you can't buy an investment property with an FHA loan. You can't buy an investment property with a VA loan. It's not allowed. So, okay, cool. She lives in Baltimore, but she's buying houses in Florida. Not one house, but two houses. Like, dang, how long you gonna be there? You gonna go back and forth between cities in Florida in one weekend? Like, how does this work? She told them people that she was gonna have a second home. Well, part of having a second home, let me explain what a second home is, because sometimes people say I want to buy a second home. I don't think they mean it. I think they mean like another home, like a home in placement of the house that they're currently in, or they mean an investment property. So a primary residence is a house that you live in. You sleep there every single night. You sleep there all the time. That's you. That's where you live at. If your friends want to pull up on you, that's where they're gonna show up. Sometimes we live in areas where maybe having a second home is appropriate. And so when we're looking at second homes, a lot of times we have to just apply common sense to scenarios whenever we're reviewing loan applications or whenever we're conversing with people. Up until recently, I thought it was weird when somebody said they had 2 full-time jobs. I'm seeing that as a trend now. It's a lot of people that got 2 full-time jobs now. So as that becomes more and more frequent, it will be less and less odd, and we'll be more and more likely to believe that the first time they say it, rather than having to ask 4 or 5 follow-up questions. Well, so in her case, you work in Baltimore. We know you work in Baltimore because we can see you at your job. You buying a house in Florida, not one house, but 2 houses in Florida. How that's supposed to work? So second homes, people will live in New York. They live up north. A lot of old people would be what they call birds, snowbirds. I think that's what it's called. So older people would live up north, and then they would come down south during the cold. Second home, like Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. That whole little setup down there. Miami sure look different. It looked, man, do Miami have old people anymore? Designing Women, I don't know if y'all know Designing Women. This is a tangent. Designing Women was set in Atlanta, Georgia. 4 Southern white women and 1 black gay man. Atlanta don't look like that now. But anyway, so, okay, that's a second home. You have your house there. You're there 50% of the time, and then you come to the other house 50% of the time. While you're there, no one is there. It's vacant. It's empty. That looks like a beach house. That looks like house in the mountains. That looks like a lake house. It's for fun. It's for leisure. It's not what normal people do. Now, in New York, maybe, where people live like in other states, was like Connecticut or New Jersey or something. And like, let's say you live in the city. Oh no, I'm saying like you work in the city. And maybe you like sometimes like some big Wall Street broker type person. So you getting paid, $800,000-$900,000 on a regular, and you got a family and you got kids, your wife, and like you might have a house. But like on the week, like during the week, like, boo, like, babe, I gotta be at work like 14 hours a day. I can't be commuting like this. So maybe they'll buy like a little condo or a little something that's a lot closer to work. But then when they have their real life, they go home. So they split their time between the 2 places. Completely possible. Nothing's wrong with that. And in investment home is, I'm finna rent this out for my Airbnb. An investment property is, I'm buying this house. I want somebody to live in it and pay me money on a regular basis. Short term, long term, whatever. But people have been using that little Airbnb thing. Y'all, you used it up. Y'all use it up. I think a day is. I think things are changing. I'll say that. So, in her case, like I said, she lived in Baltimore. She got 2 houses in Florida, but she said, "Oh no, these gonna be vacation homes." Guess what she did? Y'all. Y'all know what this woman did? Y'all know what this woman did. Immediately turned around and got like a property management company immediately. She didn't stay in the house. She didn't go. She didn't immediately got a property management company to be like, okay, like, this can be a vacation rental. Put it on such and such website. Because y'all know Airbnb is not an adjective. It's a company. It's a noun. Airbnb is not the industry. It's a company within the short-term rental business. But y'all, how stupid is that? She's a prosecutor. Like, her brain should be different than our brain. But I mean, I guess she figured, okay, well, don't know. Anybody don't know. But then y'all, look, check this out. That's not where it ends. It gets better. So she got this $45,000 tax lien. She checked 2 boxes that she did not have any delinquent or federal delinquency or defaulted loans. She lied about the purpose of the property, which again, they can document. But yo, this woman made $250,000 and her husband had made $170,000 combined during COVID, knew the laws, the ins and outs and loopholes, was like, oh, you know what? There's this emergency, I don't know what the name of, save, emergency, something, provision where they allow federal workers to go and get their retirement money for an emergency. And remember, I started this whole thing by saying they made special provisions during COVID that they hadn't made before. They was like, we got look, I ain't got time to be arguing with you. Like, we can disagree. Like, you're a Republican. I get it. I know we ain't going to sit together and hold hands, but I need your signature. Come on, let's go. We got to get this done because I want to keep my job from the American people, right? That's what they was talking across the aisle like that. I guess that's how they talk. I don't know. But that's what happened. And they passed all of these acts and signatures from I don't know who was the president at the time. Was it Trump? Trump was from Donald Trump. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's give the people some money and make sure, hey, I know that y'all agree that y'all gonna give the people the money, but hold on, wait. I need my money. I need my name on the check. Oh, we gonna fight about that for a few days? I'm fine with fighting about it. Just make sure my name get on that check. The people were trying to move swiftly because they wanted to make sure that nobody was going to be harmed and have irreparable damage. Well, Miss Marilyn Mosby, who is in Baltimore, what is Baltimore? Thank you. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot. Can y'all hear me? My microphone went out. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can. All right. My battery died. My batteries just died on my microphone. But anyway, so yeah, she like, help me out, ring the alarm. I need this money. Like yesterday, like I got this business, and it's kind of like, oh, you got this business. Like, okay, but I thought you was the prosecutor. Like, you can have a side business. That's what you want. But y'all know what? They later found out that she had never had a single client for this business. She knew that they had this emergency withdrawal fund from COVID for the the CARES Act. That's what it was called, the CARES provision. And she took advantage of it. She was like, oh, we about to run it up. We about to get us 3% interest rates. We about to have some new income. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be our party. I know that's what she was thinking. Because like I said, I know she read them documents. You ain't going to convince me that an attorney did not read 60 or 70 pages worth of documents and sign her name. I refuse to believe that. So anyway, so that's how we arrived to her being convicted of 2 counts of perjury. Well, she's in trial. She has a trial going on right now. And I'll fast forward this. But right now, her trial is basically echoing the same thing. But your girl is basically, she lied about where she got some money from. So whenever you get a gift, or whenever let me rephrase, let me start over. Whenever you have your loan application, we're asking you about your income, your credit, and your assets. If you get if we have a consultation and I say something like, oh, well, what's this car loan right here? And you say, well, it's not my car. I co-signed from my sister. I don't make the payments though. Oh, okay, cool. And then I'm going to respond with whatever the appropriate documentation is for you to back up whatever your story is. We don't never just be like, we don't believe you. We give you a chance to prove what you're saying is true. So yeah, it's black and white, but a large part of what we do is narratives. Is what you're saying, does it make sense or is it nonsensical? Like, what's going on here? So in her case, she said that she got a gift from her husband for $5,000. $5,000. They later found out that was a lie. You can't do that. Like, she moving money around. And so like, I'm kind of like trying to figure out in my head, like, okay, what do I think happened? What I think happened, y'all, I think that she had made a large deposit and she couldn't prove where that money came from. And they had to back that money out of her total assets. And she didn't have enough money to close on the house. And because of that $5,000, she moved it over to him and then he turned around and gave it to her. Well, she closed on the houses, okay? Like, she got the houses. But remember I said, that's not where the story ends. You can have a little house, the little 2 houses, whatever, you can have it. You win. Let me find this house and show y'all this house. Look at this. This is one of the houses that's in question. Ooh, child. Look at this. She purchased a $476,000 house in Florida. It was 2 houses. I can't find the other house, but it's a Florida condominium. 1 month apart. Like, where they do that? Look. The house, $476,000, a 2-bedroom property. And it gives the address and everything. 1,400 square feet. Waterfront access. I mean, it sounds like a nice place to me. The homeowners association dues was $1,000. Property taxes was $5,300. And she took out a $428,000 loan. Not bad. Not bad at all. But remember I said, when you don't tell the truth about where, like, your purpose of the property, it's because you're not telling the truth. Because when I get on a phone call with the people, what will end up happening is the conversation goes something like this. Hey, Joe, I want to buy investment property. Okay, cool. That'll be at least 15% down. You can do this, this, this. Okay, this one will be 20% down. The interest rate is this. Here's your closing costs. And then they'll say, oh. Oh. Well, what if I live in it? No, no, it's too late. No backseats. You can't do that. It's too late. You said what you said. I heard what you said. And you not getting ready to finesse me. Because I like my job. Okay? I'm not going to help you commit fraud. So they'll take the information that I've given them. And what you think they're going to do? Call another mortgage company. It's called social engineering. You get a little bit of information here, a little bit of information here, a little information there. And now you have completed your entire story. You have factual information. You know what to say, what not to say, how to say it, when to say it. But see, the people always give themselves away because they say things that normal people don't say. They always do. I can always tell when somebody talks to another lender because they say stuff that, like I said, normal people don't talk. Normal people don't call something liabilities. Oh, well, I have so-and-so in liability. Normal people say payments. So I don't know. Hey, y'all. Hey, look, let me check in with y'all real quick before I wrap this up. Hey, out here trucking, what's popping? How you doing? Thank you for letting me know about that. I don't know why we were saying yes. What was we saying yes to? Okay, thank you. Hey, N. Allen, what's going on, girl? Pills, potions, and poisons. You like that house? It's okay. I don't want to go to jail for it, though. It's cute, I guess. I don't know what the other one looked like, but I wish I could have found it, but I didn't. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's cute, but I mean, I don't know about going to jail for it. But she was gonna rent it out. That was her plan, right? So, okay. So your girl, lied about the tax debt. Didn't tell anybody about the tax debt because guess what? Fun fact, it's okay to have tax debt. You just gotta tell somebody about it. And saying that you forgot about $45,000 is a little challenging, especially when they was putting a lien on your house. You don't forget stuff like that. Just saying. So she was dishonest about that. So she said, it wasn't me, it was my man. It's his fault. I didn't do it. It's on him. So let me tell y'all, the defense is saying, I'm sorry, her defense is, y'all, this weak, demure, poor little damsel in distress, she doesn't know anything. She's so meek. She does all she knows is she just goes to work and she comes home. She don't handle those type of affairs. No. It was that man. Child, they tried to put on the underwriter. The underwriter said, oh, not me, not today. You won't tell me. So they called the underwriter to the stand. The underwriter was like, oh, absolutely not. And here's all of the evidence that shows that every single time she typed something in, every checked box, well, she checked the box and then she signed her name and then she signed her name again. You get multiple chances throughout the application. We don't just do like this little one-off thing. You get multiple chances over the course of that 2 weeks or that 30 days or whatever that window of time is. And she continued forward. Like, wasn't nothing going on. She was geeked. She was hyped. And she probably got an Instagram page. Like, we ain't got the internet. At that time, it was a $4 trillion business in the mortgage industry. And y'all think we ain't got Google? I mean, I'm just saying. So she lied. She lied to everybody. She blaming the underwriter. She blaming the business. She blaming her man. She's saying that they said the defense claims that she's innocent, portraying her as a novice in real estate who expected her husband to handle tax matters, acting in good faith without committing any crime. But y'all, like I said, she went to law school. What's wrong with having a tax lien? If you say to the underwriter, yeah, I'm delinquent. I mean, I'm on a payment plan. We're going to be like, okay, cool. The solution to that problem is, can you provide me with your payment plan? Show it to me in writing. I need to see the agreement. Not only do we need to see the agreement, we need to see that you have done 3 consecutive payments of payment plan. Just 3. Not 3 years, not 3 months. I mean, not 3 years, not 30 years, not the whole debt got to be paid up. Just 3 payments in a row. You can't make 3 payments in one day and say, oh, I did 3 payments. It's got to be in a row. Because what's happening, and I just want y'all to hear it through the lens of somebody that's assessing risk. In theory, you owe back taxes because you demonstrated you're not responsible. You're not financially responsible, right? So just like give us something to work with. Just put 3 payments on it. It's okay. They chose not to do that, which is fine. They got a lien. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a tax person, but I mean, at the end of the day, a lien means if they sell the house, then that's when they'll get their cut. They can't refinance the house. They can't do nothing on the house with that lien until that lien is cleared. I mean, okay. But you can't get a mortgage. They're gonna be like, what's going on over there? What's happening? Because that means that they have exhausted all of their options to come to some sort of agreement with you about that tax debt. You ignore them, they're like, okay, fine. Throw a lien on it. Hey. They throw a lien on it. No problem. All right. So we got that. She moved forward. I don't think the husband he couldn't have been on the loan if he gave her a gift. So the husband wasn't in this at all. This is 100% on her. Oh, side note, they broke up. They broke up. They don't go together real bad no more. Not anymore. So that is one horrific example of someone that is committing mortgage fraud. And again, it's mortgage fraud for the purpose of housing. She committed it because she did not want to pay the extra 5% down or the extra 10% down, or she didn't want to take an interest rate that was going to be 1% higher. That is why people do that. And what's so funny to me is she did it before they changed the rules. Right now, so it's a little harder to buy a second home. Back then, I think, I don't know, was it 5%? They changed. I can't remember what the LTV was before, but now it's a little bit higher and the pricing is a lot worse because it's more risky. If you decide that you don't want to make your payment, like your life is falling apart, the first thing that you're going to let go is the houses that you don't live in. Hey, Lindsay, how did she get caught? Audits. Something ain't right. It didn't make sense. It did not make any sense. I know of a situation where I watched somebody on social media in real life during COVID. They were living in one house, had the house renovated, was getting the house renovated, moving into a different house, and was like, oh, well, this is where I want to live now. Like, this is going to be amazing, wonderful. It's going to be a good time over here. It's going to be more conducive to my new fun lifestyle. Okay. Mind you, this is over months, right? Because if you think about the way that we live now, we in our own reality show. It's a storyline. So I'm like, oh, okay. Renovate one house, move. Okay, all right, cool. This what's up. Renovate the house. All right, all good. So then the person comes on social media and says, oh, y'all, let me tell y'all about this horrific closing experience that I had. I bought a house. And they said, this is why it's important to have, a good mortgage person, make sure that they can get it done. It's going to be amazing. It's wonderful. I'm locked in. I want to hear this story. They go on to describe, again, what I saw with my own eyes. They go on to describe how they were having such challenges with the other lender. And I know that this person, just from what I've seen on social media, has plenty of money. So I know income is not the problem. When we start asking questions, making you go back and forth, and we start like really like dragging the process out, and the realtors be like, they don't know what they're doing. No, baby, your client doesn't qualify. And we're trying to just verify that they don't qualify. We're going to get all the information on you that we can. We got to build this case. We want to know it all. So gets on the internet and says, this is why, and it explains all of the mishaps that happened along the way. But because I'm a lender, I heard it completely differently than the words that were being shared. I instantly heard you lied. I instantly heard you lied and they were trying to verify your lie. That's what I heard. Well, a few months later, the person says, oh, I don't want to live here no more. I'm moving back to the other house, the original house. I'm moving back to that house. I'm moving back to that house because I don't like this lifestyle no more. I was just kidding. I didn't mean to want to come and have a good time and party. Let's all get wasted. You know, I thought that's what I wanted. It was cute. It was good for what it was for the last couple of months, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I'm taking on back to the other house. My other newly renovated, beautiful home. Much farther away than this house, but I'm not going to be going back and forth and being in these streets like that. Well, just say I'm gonna not disclose everything, but I'll just say this. I know for a fact that that loan officer was dishonest, because when you get sanctioned and when you have consent orders, that information is available online through NMLS consumer access. And when I heard that this person had lost their license, I was like, oh, what? The loan officer. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Let me see. I read it and I said, oh my God. I connected all of the dots. Social media, y'all. People be talking. Just know. So yes, people will see what you're doing. When you have multiple loan applications going, oh, side note, that from what I read, that individual had 2 loan applications going at the same time. And I think marked them both as like primary residences or something like that, if I remember correctly. This was in 2020, maybe 2021. It was in 2021. But y'all, all of these things, like these little teeny tiny details, they matter. She bought 2. Think about it. Y'all think about it like this. Okay, you bought a house. So you're in Baltimore. You bought a house in Florida, and then you turn around and bought a second house in Florida. A month later, we can look at your credit report. So the thing that people don't realize is, I say this all the time, but nobody's listening. We triangulate everything that you say. There is not a single thing that you can say or do or put on that application that cannot be tied to a second document somewhere. I lost my job. Great. I can call and ask them. I'm getting gift money. Great. Show me the bank statements from the person that's giving you your gift. I don't pay rent here. Excellent. Show me the lease agreement where you live at so I can see who all on that lease. Every single word, everything that you say, everything that you do is tied back to something else. Oh, what happened? Hold on. What did that dude do? This happened to me. What did he do? He lied about. Oh, I told the story before, but so I'll spare y'all the details. But this guy had taken a cash advance out from his credit card. Well, your credit report reports 30 days behind. So if you do something yesterday, I'm not going to know for 30 days. But then when I look at you, because, okay, so let's say you get a cash advance. I don't see it on your credit report. So in your mind, because you don't know no better, you thinking, oh, my debt to income ratio, they're not going to count that debt against me. They don't know about it. I won't say nothing. Okay. Well, this is odd. I'm looking at your bank statements. You deposited $12,000 and you only make $6,000 a month. So where does $12,000 come from? Oh, and y'all, by the way, take a look at your bank statements. When you read your bank statements detail out, along with phone numbers, where that was debited to. Walmart in Las Vegas, 1-800, whatever. So I'm looking at the bank statement. This is a true story. It was a veteran that did this. He got declined by his bank that he worked for. Came to me. I helped him. I didn't know anything was going on. Nothing crazy was happening. But I saw that deposit. What's this $12,000? Oh, okay. Maybe that's why he couldn't get no loan. I don't know. I have no idea. Cash advance on a credit card. Interesting. From a credit card, excuse me. You didn't think nobody was gonna know. But like I said, we tie everything to something else. Oh, I'm gonna commute to work every day from my house. Yeah, my house is 106 miles away from my job, but I'm gonna drive back and forth every day. Google. You're not gonna drive back and forth. Like in Charlotte, that's unheard of. You're not doing that. We don't live in that type of environment. If we lived up north and you was going, what Joe Biden, where he from? Where's Joe Biden from? What, Connecticut or wherever? He took the train every single, where is he? Whatever. He took the train every single day to work, to Washington, D.C. and took the train back. That's normal. That's not in our culture. So if you say something like that to us, we're gonna be like, that's odd. Red flag. Now we gotta watch it. Every single thing. Your pay stub tells us all about you. It puts address, your tax returns, your driver's license. You say you live somewhere, but why? Hold on. You said you live here for 9 months, but your driver's license say this, your tax returns say that. Why is none of this stuff adding up? What's going on? And people don't know that. They don't realize that. They don't think about it. And because they don't, we know that they don't. But we don't expect people to tell lies either. We hope that you're going to be honest and tell the truth. Well, in the situation I was just telling you about, old boy with the $12,000 deposit, he closed. He was a veteran. He closed, called me back 6 months later and told me he never lived in the house. First of all, you got to be about stupid to return to the scene of the crime. What in the world? You thought I was getting ready to like help you? Are you done lost your John Brown? I got on my computer, baby. When I tell you, I sat there on that phone with him and I talked to him and I talked to him and I talked to him. And I was like, oh, really? Like, tell me more. What? Oh, you had tenants right away. You didn't have to fix it up or nothing? Oh, what? Yeah, I was so flabbergasted when he said, I literally was just like being polite because he claimed that he had a referral for me from something else. I was being polite. Oh, so hey, how's everything coming along? How you like your house? How's it going? Oh, I ain't never lived. I was in and out. No, he said, oh no, we got tenants. What did he say? We got tenants in there and didn't have to fix it up enough. We got tenants in there right away. I said, you got tenants in there right away. I'm shocked, but I couldn't let it go. I was shocked. I just repeated it back. Do he know he's telling me this? He has to know that he's telling me this. I can hear me, so I know he can hear him. Can he hear my thoughts? Because I hope not. He was trying to be a straw buyer. He was trying to use his mom to buy a house in another state. Oh, my mama want to live. My mama want to move. Why are you so involved? Red flag. It's all types of stuff that we can do. And so when we see things, we make notes of things. I'm not the only person to see that file. The underwriter's not the only person that sees that file. The process is not the only one that sees that file. It is so many hands that touches that loan. Yes, I tell people up front, I'm horrible at details. I really am. But if I think you lying, I'm gonna put a note in the file because I can't be like, oh, I think you committing fraud. I can't tell you that. I'm not allowed to say something like that. But I'm putting them notes and I'm gonna let them sift through it and figure it out. But no, he got all the way through closing. But when he called me, I told it. I told it and I told it fast. I told it and I told it fast. I told anybody in that company that will, I CC'd everybody. I did not leave any stone untouched. I said, y'all will not put me in this. Nope. I had screenshots from my phone, text messages that we had 6-7 months ago. He said, I said, nope, not me. And they went back and guess what they did? They investigated it. They don't take that stuff lightly. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't know that I thought it was just they were gonna be like, oh well. Oh no, they did not well at all. Now I don't know what's gonna come of that. I don't know, that side of things, but I would dare say he won't be getting another VA loan. I can't promise you much, but I can promise you that. We also had a situation recently. Well, okay, I'll give you a good example of when people like they take advantage of little fractures in the rules. During COVID, we had people that closed on Friday, and over the course of the weekend, maybe that Monday, there was an announcement that said, hey, you don't have to make any payments on your mortgage for 12 months. There were people that got an equity line of credit, pulled their money out, called the bank and said, hey, I need that mortgage. What y'all got? What is it? I don't want to make them payments. The forbearance. Give me that. Give me 2 of those. Did you lose your job from Friday? It looked like you closed on your loan on Friday. What happened? They just didn't want to make the payments. They didn't want to do it. We're refinancing. They didn't want to do it. We didn't ask for no documentation. So see, that's what I'm saying. Like people, they take advantage of stuff. And then you want to know when we asking you for your blood type, why? Because people are liars. People are full of shit. Now we full of shit too. Now don't get me wrong. We are definitely full of shit. But not like y'all. Y'all be creative, baby. I'm like, oh my God, this is next level creativity over here. When I tell y'all, old boy with that VA loan, he had a car. He got rid of that car in 5 days. And I'm talking about including the weekend. I was like, yeah, to move forward, you're going to have to, boom, gone. Got it. Next. What else I got to do? Man, this veteran, he really wants this house. I want to help. I want to help this veteran. Child, he played me. I promise you, I ain't see that coming. I ain't gonna hold you. I got a quick little feeling. It was a fleeting thought at closing because some girl showed up, and I think it was the girlfriend that bought the car from him or whatever. And y'all, it was just a quick thought. I was like, she talked too damn much. And when I was saying it in my head, I was thinking of all of the other times I had been in closings, and then people like their parents come to the closing or something like that. And when the people be there for moral support, they shut the fuck up. They don't be talking. And I was like, why she talk so much? I mean, and it was a delay with the closing. I don't know what was going on, but it took a while. And we just sitting there, and I was like, she talked too much. Shut up. We don't want to know you. We don't want to know nothing about you. And I heard her say something like she was in real estate or something like that. I do remember hearing that. But I still didn't care. I didn't want to hear it. I don't know you. I ain't here for you. I'm here for these pictures. I be telling the realtors, I'm coming to the party. Y'all ain't gonna leave me out. No, God. So yeah, so that's an example. Most recently, we've heard of scenarios where this is a true story. I heard that there was someone that closed on their house. So you can potentially have more than one company involved when you buy your house. So you have your company that originated your loan, but then you can have a separate company that you write your payments to, or you have drafted out your account, and that's called a loan servicer. So anytime you have a problem with your loan, with your escrow, you need to pause your payments, you want to make extra payments, you call your loan servicer. That is their problem. So, and then sometimes it's the same company, like a Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo used to be the largest servicer in the industry, but I don't think they are anymore. They sold off a lot of their stuff because I guess they saw turbulent times was a coming. But anyway, so the lady closed on the loan, said, "Hey, yep, this house is going to be used for, well, I guess her primary residence, whatever it's going to be used for." And then, the loan servicer then called the loan servicer, I guess a month later or whatever, and was like, "Hey, no, let me use a real prop. Hey, XYZ mortgage company that I'm making my payments to, I need you to do me a favor. Yes, ma'am, you do understand this is an attempt to collect a debt. Anything that you say, y'all know what this is, a monitor or recorded line, all of those things." Yeah. So she continued. She kept talking, was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea for me to say this on a monitor or recorder." She said, "Hey, y'all, can y'all change my mailing address from that property address back to my other address?" They're like, "Oh, well, why would you do that?" Oh, because that's going to be a rental property, whatever rental vacation property. I'm going to use that for that. Just, I'm never going to be there to get my mail. All right, ma'am, we'll work on that. They worked on it. They told it. They told it and told it fast. Can you order a pizza? Yeah, that's my child.
Yeah.
Oh.
And pizza.
Yeah, get a pizza. Yeah, they told it quick. And so, I mean, y'all, this is a thing, and it's becoming more and more. Stop. It's becoming more and more prevalent because as interest rates have gone up and cost of getting credit has gone up, it has become more and more desirable to be dishonest about the purpose of the property. And as you have seen, we have a culture where investors, there are more and more people that want to become investors. When people contact me and when people contact me and they say, "Oh, well, how long you got to live in a property before you can rent it out?" Red flag. Like that's the beginning of it. You out here, you fishing for answers. So, the internet, how can we find out that you lying? How can we find out that you are lying and not living in that property that you said is your primary residence? Google, Zillow. I see an example here that said that they went to compass.com, showed the property was for sale, showed the sale date, and then they went on Zillow a week later and saw that the rent for the property was $2,000. They see it on Airbnb, and then the borrower being the host. You cannot do anything without some sort of thumbprint, some sort of fingerprint. We see you. We see you seeing us, but we see you not seeing us. So I just wanted to share this because financial literacy is something that we think is for poor people, poor Black people. But y'all would be surprised how many people don't know certain things and have to be educated properly about, the home buying process. And we have to speak with them about, hey, no, you can't do that. and here is why you can do this. Here's the alternate. Here's the solution. But it can't be just something that you assume, oh, they got money, they know better. She knew better because she's an attorney. So my original question was, well, when does a mistake turn into fraud? Because sometimes it can be just, I mean, fraud is like, it's intent. You didn't, I mean, my bad. But you knew you was lying. And then for us, I know when I worked at the bank, again, on monitor recorded lines, I'll never forget. I realized how serious occupancy fraud was when they walked out one of the top loan officers. Top. He had been there for a long time, but they heard him on a call because they listen. If y'all have ever worked in a call center, they just randomly listen to calls. They don't listen to everybody's call. That's why I say monitor recorded for quality assurance. The quality assurance might be I need to listen to 3 calls a day. And then I got to check these little things off on my list. And they was like, Mr. Loan Officer, did you tell them not to put this and to do that? You was coaching them? And that's another thing, even like with your tax returns. I can't coach you through your tax returns. I can give you generic responses. I can't coach you through certain stuff. That's not what I'm supposed to do. If you don't claim enough on your taxes, that's a you problem. My job is not to accept that type of responsibility. If I tell you to pay XYZ in taxes and then your loan don't work out, guess what you're going to do? Ooh, you're going to turn on me. Ooh, you're going to call everybody at the bank. You're going to call Action 9. You're going to call who? I don't know. Dateline. You're going to call everybody who will listen. To be like, that loan officer told me to such and such, and they ain't give me a house because I'm black. It's because I'm black. They hating on me. I know it. So I don't do it. That's also why I don't get into the whole credit repair thing. People think that I'm being dismissive or that I'm not doing stuff for our people. I don't get into credit because I'm not qualified to. And I'm not going to assume liability if something goes wrong. It's a business decision that I have made. That's all. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not supposed to. I'm not a credit repair person. That's literally not my job. So that's just the truth. But no, we're not trying to be out here just coaching you through certain things because we're not tax preparers. We'll redirect you to the appropriate professional. Talk to a tax professional. When people start saying, "Oh, I can write off my interest on my my taxes," yeah, but still talk to a tax professional. Because again, it's certain things, but you just got to be really, really careful. So, y'all, we're gonna really start watching out for this because what happens is when things like that happen, and every lender, we borrow money from the same place, the same Federal Reserve, which is why all the rates went up. That's why you couldn't find a 3% rate here and an 8% rate here. We go to the same well to buy money, to get money, borrow money. And then once the loan is closed, we sell all them loans to the same secondary market. Same guidelines apply across the board. That's why when they say a 620 credit score, 620 credit score, you might find somebody else that says, oh, we need a 640. Because you're allowed to do that to minimize your risk. But you can't go below that and be like, I'm going to give you a conventional loan with a 600 credit score. Unless it's not being sold to the secondary market. So based on those individual guidelines. So that's why. So when they say that they need certain documents and documentation, it's not because we're like trying to annoy you. We aren't trying to inconvenience you. We like our jobs and we would like to keep them. The underwriter's name is on that. My name is on that. Your realtor's name is on that. Imagine that scenario. If that very same veteran that I was telling you, imagine if I would have let him use his mom as a straw buyer. He got the same realtor, me. Same, though that's it. Now what it look like? It looked crazy. It looked like we all complicit. It only takes 2 times for a pattern, y'all. Two establishes a pattern. Side note, if you're taking your test, that's probably gonna be a question. But occupancy fraud is a real thing, and they're really elevating and heightening the awareness, because when we can't sell that loan to the secondary market and we have to buy it back, that is a lot of money, because our money goes in a circle. We get the money, we sell the money. We get the money, we sell the money. We get the money. If we get the money, sell the money, and got to buy it back, whoa, hold on, we're going the wrong direction here. Wait, hang on. We have to be able to get that off our books so we can continue to lend more money. That is the cycle. We can get audited. If they get audited, they're going to be like, for example, and I said this on TikTok last night, and I'm going to wrap this up. A lot of times people be like, oh, they being racist to me, when it has nothing to do with that. In fact, all of those layers and layers and layers of compliance are there specifically to ensure that everybody's being treated fairly and equitably. I shared last night that there have been scenarios where they look at the data and they'll say, oh, well, ABC Bank is giving better rates and pricing to white people versus black people. That's the only thing y'all hear. Y'all don't, but the part is that you don't hear is when we on this phone fighting for our life, white people just negotiate better than black people. That's it. That's all it is. It ain't hard. They shop around. They provide the documentation that we need. You have a question. How did that not come up on the text transcript? What come up on the text transcript? Her job, her fake job that she had that didn't make no money. But you know, like sometimes we don't have to, I don't know, is that what you're talking about, Lindsay? Because sometimes we don't have to include all your income. So, I mean, if you qualify, I always tell people less is more. Don't go over volunteering information. If the underwriter says, give me a letter explanation for why you weren't at work from March to September, I was out due to back surgery. We don't care how you got hurt. Don't include that. Don't include how you were so downtrodden and so worried how you had to borrow money from your sister and your grandmother died, and we don't care. Answer that one question with like 2 sentences, 3 sentences top. Keep it pushing. I had a veteran almost lose his loan. What was it? He was in process. He was a veteran. He was in process. And one of the things that we look at with the VA, with the veterans, is your residual income. So that's income after like everything. And then we even account for like your household bills. It's a specific formula. And depending on the number of children and things that you have, this man was like, what? I don't remember what we asked, but he said a letter. He was like, yeah, well, my girlfriend will be moving in, and I help take care of her 5 children, and I give them $1,000 every month. Sir, no one asked you that. Answer the question. Get in, get out. Don't lie. Just answer the question. Let's keep it pushing. But when they look at all this data and they open it, they want to know, well, why did Susie Q get a better rate than Bob Jones? We have to be able to provide the documentation. Do you have a loan estimate? Do you have an email? People think that we are just like trying to give them something to do. The only thing we're trying to do is keep the doors open and be compliant. And the laws and the compliance rules and guidelines, they are there to protect everybody. They really are. And sometimes people don't believe it. And I told somebody last night on TikTok, I said, baby, listen, whatever helps you sleep at night. If you believe that we sitting here going through loan applications, black, white, black, what? You lost your damn mind. We're too busy for that shit. Let me tell you, y'all really think, and I'm going to tell you this, that people think that it's incorrect. bank statements. People will send us bank statements and it's all redacted. Darling, I don't care what websites you go to. I don't look at that. Literally, I don't. Most loan officers, because again, remember I said, we the fun ones. We don't get into the nitty gritty details. We leave that to the underwriters because we want to always say yes. They the ones that's like, no. We look at the bank. I'm looking. Oh, they got $35,680. Perfect. Next case. I ain't looking at nothing else. I'm not going through that. I'm like, okay, this sounds legit to me. That's most of the time. Now, like I said, with that one dude, like my gut, and that's the other thing. Like when you do something so long, your gut tells you certain stuff. It's like, this feels weird. This is odd. You mentioned income on the other live. So what? Hang on. Okay, you mentioned income on the other live. So one of my jobs, I'm not a full-time employee on paper, but I work 40 hours a week. So my income will be calculated based on my part-time status. No, it'll be calculated based on whatever your pay stubs say. So if you have, 40 hours, hold on. What am I trying to say? 40 hours times 52 weeks is 2,080 hours. So if that's how many hours you work, that's how many hours you work. Whether or not you get benefits or not is not our concern. That's your business. Like, not your business, but like your corporation and the way that they set up their employees for success. That's not on us. So it'll be calculated based on the consistency over the last couple of years. I hope that helps. Lean with it, rock with it. Yep. Sure will. Absolutely. And liens can come in multiple ways. Liens can come from work that has not been completed. I had a lady that moved from New York. She moved from New York to Texas, I think she said. And she ended up having like a second mortgage lien situation because of she bought some windows or something. And so until that work is completed, a lot of times when you get work done on your home, they'll put a mechanics lien on there. Like if you ever been driving down the street to an open field and ain't nothing going on, but you just happen to see a bunch of like pallets, or you just happen to see like a bulldozer. They making claim. All right, run me my coin. They're looking at doing that's the mechanics lien. They showed up. They're establishing, hey, this is us. This is what we're doing. So at that point, they want to make sure that they're able to be paid for whatever it is that they're doing. Now, I don't know the process for putting a lien on a property, but the back taxes for the Baltimore lady, how did they not come up on the tax transcript? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they was her husband. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Look at you. I don't know. But they didn't. Well, no, I'm lying. No, we don't always. No, I'm not. I'm not lying. We don't pull tax transcripts for every loan. We don't use. We don't always. It's not a 100% thing. So when we send out that 4506C, there's a loan document that you sign, y'all. It's called a 4506C that you give us authority ahead of time for us to go back and check your tax transcripts. Your tax transcripts give us the information to make sure that what you're providing on your tax returns aligns. Now, remember, I told you that lady lied about having that other business. But she didn't tell the lender that. She told the retirement people that. So the reality, yeah, I can see, yeah, we wouldn't need tax. We probably need tax transcripts for that. Like I said, ain't like she's not Googleable. We know where she worked. And I don't believe at the time there was a lien on her property. I'm not sure. I think that was something that was kind of, the way that it sounded was like it was maybe something going on concurrently. But no, we don't always use tax transcripts. They're not always required, but we will get your signature just ahead of time, just in case. So if something is askew, we can go back. What's going on? What's happening here? Like I had a guy over the summer. What happened? They say he had unverifiable income. He was a barber. That's what it was. He was a barber. He was a barber for a few years. He had 1099, so tax. He was self-employed. And then at the beginning of 2023, he changed to be a wage earner, so W-2. And so when his loan was coming to me, because I was supposed to save the deal, the other loan officer said, "Hey, his wages were unverifiable." That's because they were going to compare everything to the tax transcript. If you haven't filed your taxes, that's red flag. Oh, well, it's unverified because you ain't filed your taxes. Go get your taxes. Go file your taxes. Have them stamped, and let's just keep it pushing. It's almost always a solution to everything. Okay, so that's it. The moral of the story is be honest, be upfront, don't misrepresent any facts. Don't omit anything. When someone asks you something, answer the question directly. Answer it as directly as you possibly can without, because sometimes that can raise additional red flags. Okay. And if it's raising additional red flags, that means we're going to ask more questions. Like, I'll give you a good example. Whenever people are providing assets, I'm like, I don't need to know all that. You want to tell me, especially them 800 credit people, they think they better than everybody. Oh, I got my shit together. I'm gonna prove it to you. I don't want you to prove it. I can see. I know. You putting $100,000 down. I don't need to see that you got $800,000 in stocks. Congratulations. I don't want to know. Okay. It's not required that we gather every single morsel of data on you. I'm lying. Depending on what the guidelines say. If the guideline says that, like if you're trying to get some down payment assistance and like they say that you can only have $20,000 in assets, then you need to provide all the information. You can't conceal that you have a 401k for $100,000 somewhere. You're lying. Now they can prosecute you. You're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I think that they probably went after her, one, because of who she is, and two, I mean, that was pretty big lie. That she had multiple lies. Like, she misrepresented what she was gonna do with the property and the $45,000 and what else? And the $90,000 thing. She was borrowing the money. She lied about that. You can't lie about stuff like that. The same guy that I was just telling you with that was the barber. His loan, I mean, he should have never been pre-approved. I don't know what happened with the other loan officer, but I remember when I looked at his documents and I was like, he don't have no money. Where's his money? He said he sold something, but I don't see proof that he sold anything. He sent me a bill of sale, but when did the money go in the bank account? I don't see it going in. I don't see it coming out. I got questions and he answers. None of what he said made any sense to me. And ultimately what I realized was he said, oh, y'all told me I needed to have cash at the closing table. Bro, that means oh my God, you took that literally? He thought, oh, I just got to scrape it up by the time I get to the closing date. Sir, absolutely not. But in the midst of all of that, he kept saying, I'm gonna get a gift, I'm gonna get a gift, I'm gonna get a gift. On his loan application, he said he had $20,000. Oh, okay, cool. You got like, where you gonna get your assets from? Oh, I'm gonna get a gift. Okay, how much is the gift? $10,000. Okay, cool. All right, how much money you got in the bank? $10,000. 10 plus 10 is 20, is it not? And then when we sent him the documents, guess what? He had to sign his name saying he had the $20,000, which again, no big deal. Sometimes people have assets that we can't use. Not a big deal. That's not the end all be all. It happens. But again, in his situation, I later found out his master plan was he was going to get the money from his mama. And I thought to myself, after spending a couple of weeks with him, talking almost on a daily basis and realizing he was not the brightest star in the sky. I'm like, ain't no way his mama got money. And no way. Ain't no way possible. He said, oh no. Well, I found out later. I think his mom was going to gift him the money from her 401k. No, she is not. Unless she plans to tell a lie about why she's getting the money. Y'all see how that goes? Like, it's rules for everything. So just be really, really, really careful. Like, I think I hit all the bullet points that I wanted to. What we're looking for. Oh, real quick, and I'm done. So what we're looking for, are you working remotely and relocating? That's the biggest one. Everything else really is not that important. If you are somebody, we're going to start looking at that a lot closer because it gives you way too much latitude to lie. Way too much latitude to be dishonest. So again, that we're going to start, hang on a second. Oh, dang. We're going to start paying attention to that. So just know you want to be honest. You want to follow the rules because they're cracking down on it. And they unfortunately are using her as the poster child for it. Okay. So anyway, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. I just wanted to share it. Let's go, baby. Got the food. Did y'all hear that? Why he act like that? Why little boys act like that? Anyway, all right, y'all. But thank y'all so much. Oh, real quick, I do have a couple of events. If y'all are in Charlotte, I have 2 events coming up. One is on February the 17th. It's a home buyer seminar that I'm doing with a local builder here. He builds some amazing homes that are going to be affordable. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. There'll be realtors there. I'll be there. But the link is in my bio on my social media platforms. Also, I'm going to be able to have my first formal speaking engagement. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to participate in a high vibe conference here in Charlotte, where the 4 pillars, it's for women. It's like a women's empowerment event. And the 4 pillars are life, love, lifestyle, and literacy. I'm the literacy person, I think. But there will be lots of women. It's an all-day event. It does cost. So if that's something that you're interested in, please, it's going to be some really, really important people in that room. Because the lady that's putting it on, she was in a cohort or a cohort. So if y'all ever heard of Tory Burch empowers women on businesses. And so she was a part of a leadership cohort with Tory Burch. I'm like, oh, I hope Tory Burch come. I think that's it. Those 2 things is what I was going to share. And then I'll probably do a live on TikTok on Saturday or Sunday. So that's all. If you all are interested in purchasing a home, I'm licensed in 13 states. I can connect you with a realtor, but the most important thing is please get pre-approved before you start looking on the internet and break your own heart. Because a lot of people, they break their own heart. They can't buy cotton balls and they want to buy a $400,000 house. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Talk to a lender first. And if you want to make a plan, I can help you with that as well. As rates fall, I can also help you with your refinance. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.